Welcome to the Inject Creativity Live Show. My name is Rob the Robot from the Adobe Education team. This is a free online show for primary, secondary and post-secondary educators interested in enhancing digital literacy, communication and creativity in the teaching and learning process. Here are your hosts, Dr. Tim Kitchen and Aaron Raithke.
Thanks, Rob, and welcome to the Inject Creativity Live Show, a show based on creativity for all in education. Welcome, Aaron.
Hi, Tim, and a special welcome to everyone who joined us live and those watching on demand via the Adobe for Education YouTube channel or the Australasian Adobe for Education Facebook group for the 61st episode of Inject Creativity Live, being recorded in April 2022.
Let's start this episode with an acknowledgement of country. We respect and honour all Indigenous people from the lands we reach out to during this event. We acknowledge their stories, traditions and living cultures. We acknowledge them as the first educators and the first creatives, and we commit to building a brighter future together. Well, I'm coming to you from the Wurundjeri land in the Kulin Nation, otherwise known as Melbourne, Victoria, Australia.
And I'm coming to you from the country of the Jagera, Yagara and Ugarapul people from around the area, otherwise known as Brisbane, Queensland, Australia.
Let's welcome our techie whiz, the Adobe Senior Customer Success Manager, Jerry Wong, to the stage. Hi, Jerry.
Hi, everyone. I'm coming to you from the home of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, otherwise known as Sydney, New South Wales. During this episode, we will be hearing from Adobe Education Leader, Mark Wasowski.
And we'll be promoting a number of Adobe-related education resources and professional learning opportunities for you to take back to your schools and universities and other places of learning.
We do hope you enjoy this episode.
And if you do, please share it with your colleagues and wider education social networks.
You're watching Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Aaron Raithke.
Thanks, Rob. Now let's meet our special guest for this episode and welcome to the stage Adobe Education Leader, Mark Wasowski. Big round of applause for Mark. There it is.
There it is. So, Mark, it's great to have you back on the show. For those watching who haven't met you yet, please tell us about where and what you teach.
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks for having me, guys. So I work for TAFE New South Wales, currently at Ultimo campus as the head teacher of photography. And it's a little bit embarrassing to admit that I'm probably the least qualified photographer in the section. My background's actually in visual effects and graphic design, but I'm really lucky to lead a great team of teachers there, and it's a fabulous job. Very lucky.
Mark, tell us something interesting about yourself that not many people would know about.
I'm not sure it's that interesting, but I'm a very passionate scuba diver. So I've been diving for over 30 years as an advanced scuba diver, and any chance I get, I try and find a holiday which can get me in the water. I feel better underwater than I do on the surface. So it's a little strange, but it's true.
I'm a diver too. I can appreciate that. I totally understand.
I thought you were going to say you play the grand piano, because that's a very impressive piano that's sitting across your right shoulder there.
It's more impressive than my kitchen, which you don't want to see, trust me.
Now, tell us about what you'll be sharing in this episode.
So it's really just a quick introduction into After Effects. If you've looked at the interface and been a bit horrified by it, hope to just get you comfortable to do a very simple exercise, and that'll be supported by some resources that I can point you to at the end of the demo.
Thanks, Mark. We're looking forward to hearing back from you very soon.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Aaron Raithke.
Well, I'm going to share my screen because there's another new feature in Creative Cloud Express that's come out recently that I want to share with you. Now I'm going to quickly just share my screen here, and you can see I've got a blank canvas to work with that I've just set up a custom sized graphic and just using the default resolution. It's worth noting you can zoom in and out. Some people sort of forget about that. The little scaly tools right down the bottom that
it makes such a difference when you've got the tools open on both sides of the screen to be able to see your whole project.
It is. It's amazing. And look, I discovered this new thing just the other day when I was creating something. So I went to add some text. And look, I could probably just grab one of these templates to make it nice and simple. As I'm grabbing one of the text templates, it's going to insert itself here into the stage. And then what magically started to happen, and I'm kind of, probably need to ungroup this text first to make it separate text boxes. And let's see if as I'm activating a particular text box, you can see down the bottom right-hand corner where it says font recommendations as a new feature. And as we scroll through, it's giving us some more ideas, some more inspiration on how we might want to present this font. And if we click on these options, they instantly make that change for you. And if we're not happy with those, we can go explore more right down the bottom right-hand corner. And when we click on explore more, we get a few more options to work with. And I thought that's a nice little cool feature called font recommendations as you're manipulating your fonts. What do you think of that, Erin?
I think it's great when you start to get decision paralysis from trying to go through all of the individual menu options. Sometimes just being presented with a little bit of inspiration can lead you straight to something that you want to use so you can continue on with your project.
And just notice that ticker that's scrolling down the bottom of your screen at the moment, adobe.ly/express/APAC, a whole series of tutorials for you to, even video tutorials and PDF tutorials that you can print out and put in your classroom if you want to, or whatever way, or share them with your learning management system because they're all royalty free. They're there for you to use. So please use them. And we encourage you to make the most of Adobe Creative Cloud Express.
You're watching Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Raithke.
Erin, I'm heading up in your direction, not next week, but the week after. And Jerry's going to be with me as well. I'll be there for the Australian Computer Society Foundation Big Day In event at the University of Queensland on April 21, which will be involving about 400 K-12 students.
So while Tim's in Brisbane, the Australian Computer Society are making the most of his trip by organising a special free and all-day professional learning event for educators on Wednesday, April 20th.
After getting lots of requests, the Australian Computer Society have announced that this will now be a hybrid event, both face-to-face and online.
So now anyone can get involved. Find out more and register at adobe.ly/ACS-20 April 22.
It's going to be great to be back in Brisbane again and back face-to-face with Queensland teachers.
Part of this day will go towards level 1 of the Adobe Creative Educator program, so get involved and share it with your colleagues, whether or not you live around Brisbane.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Raithke.
At our last Inject Creativity episode, we actually played you the full video that relates to the new student video competition called Regeneration International Short Film Comp with Adobe.
And Tim and Rob put together this clip to share more.
And this time we won't play the whole clip, but you'll get a sense of it. If you go to the link, you can watch the rest of the clip. And I think you'll enjoy this bit of a mixture of Rob and I working together. Hi folks, I'm Tim from Adobe.
And I'm Rob the Robot.
Get your cameras, microphones, tripods
and Adobe apps ready for the
Regeneration International Short Film Competition with Adobe. This competition is part of the 2022 Regeneration Youth Festival, which is focused on building a resilient and empowered future.
Tim, what do the students need to do to enter this competition?
Good question, Rob. The students need to organise a small group of preferably 3 to 5 and plan, film and edit a short film that goes for between 1 and 2 minutes based on the theme of building resilience and empowerment for creating the world we all wish to live in, with a focus on sustainability and a reference to at least one of the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals.
Can it be an animation?
Sure can, Rob.
What about a mix of real life like me and animation like you?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, what do you mean like an animation like me? I mean, you're the animation in our relationship. There are 2 main age categories. And we'll pause the video there. You can watch the rest of it in your own time via that link. Hey, so far we've had about 30 schools register and about 1,350 students involved. So it's going to be a great event. We really encourage you to also join in.
And remember, this competition is open to any students years 5 to 12 throughout Australia, New Zealand, and into Southeast Asia. So register your school, get involved.
Hi folks, we are about to be inspired by an AEL, an Adobe Education Leader. AELs are passionate about the use of Adobe tools to inspire creative learning and teaching experiences in the delivery of either primary, secondary or post-secondary curricula. The first step to becoming an AEL is to be an ACE, an Adobe Creative Educator, via edx.adobe.com/adobe-creative-educator. You don't have to be an Adobe expert to be an ACE, just a teacher interested in engaging students through creative digital learning experiences. The ACE program is a free international micro-credentialing program. It only takes a few hours to earn your Level 1 badge, and the focus is on creativity rather than Adobe. Please share this program with your colleagues and get involved. Who knows, you may one day also become an Adobe Education Leader.
And it's a delight to have Adobe Education Leader Mark Wazowski from TAFE, New South Wales with us. Over to you, Mark.
Oh, hi, everyone. So I'm going to share my screen and just give you a quick introduction into some After Effects tips. If you've never used After Effects and you have some students interested in animation, or maybe just want to try a few things yourself, I've created a resource on the Adobe Education Exchange, which you can download. It comes with some instructional videos, just a couple of very simple projects. So I'll show you, first of all, what the finished product looks like. And this is just a simple composite, which consists of 3 layers, and the logo does a bit of a squash and stretch as it takes off. So I'll show you how to do that in a second. There's also a green screen element on this pyramid layer, which I'll just show you what that looks like without the effect. And there's a color change as well on these chilies that start as being red, but then turn into something blue. And there's also a color effect on the bottom layer, which just changes the color space to something a bit cooler and unites the composition so it all looks like it belongs in one place. This file and this project resource that I've put on the Exchange also includes this little animation. So I'll just quickly play that. And this just introduces some other effects. Some simple distortion effects on the background, some color change. And yeah, it's just a little looping message about the value of time in our life. So I'm going to just quickly, I won't recreate both animations from start to finish because we don't have that long, but I just wanted to get you started on some simple principles of After Effects. The cool thing about this package, and I've been using it for a long time, is that once you understand how to make one thing change, you can apply that same principle to everything. So animation is basically the process of something changing over time, and that something can be anything from scale to position or even just the color value. If something starts as red and turns into green, that means we've animated color. And for anything that's animated, we just need 2 places in time, or a minimum of 2 keyframes. So we need a start point and an end point for that change to occur. So if we want to animate anything, we've got to have at least 2 keyframes. So I'm going to just turn off the bottom 2 layers so we don't get distracted. I'm just going to focus on this logo and animate some position and scale to give it that little bouncy look that you saw in the finished product. So each layer has some attributes, some common attributes, and you'll always see this little stopwatch icon. And that's the thing that we need to turn on to basically start animating. Before I do that though, I'm just going to move my my playhead a little bit further into the animation, and I'm going to pick up, using my move tool, I'm just going to pick up the logo, and this is where I want to start the little squash and stretch, or the little jump. It's going to do a little jump to this side. One thing you'll notice is there's a pivot point, and if I start to scale this object, it pivots from the center out, which is the default method. But I'd actually like to squash the logo down towards the bottom, so it's more like the bottom of the logo represents the ground, or the feet of that logo, so to speak. I can use a tool called the pan behind tool, and I can just grab that crosshair and move it to the bottom, and then just return to my other tool. So now I can squash and stretch that. Oops, beg your pardon. I can squash that down to the bottom. That's not cooperating. I'm going to do it this way, and we can begin our animation. So I'm going to animate position. This is my starting point, and over time I want it to end up on this side of my canvas area. So I created my first animation. I'll just backtrack here. If I know I'm going to animate a property, I need to manually create the first keyframe, because I need to tell After Effects that this is something that I want to lock into place in this place in time, and no matter what happens before or afterwards, this is where this value is, the position of that particular logo. So now I'm going to go forward and drag this across, and I can hold down Shift so it drags horizontally. And you'll notice that the next keyframe has been added automatically. And that has to happen, because once we've locked one position, as soon as you change the position of that logo in a different place in time, After Effects has to create a keyframe to lock in a new value. Otherwise, it's already got a value over here. So now, if I've got a little preview bar here, so I can just drag that across, and I can just hit play. And you can see that it's animating, but obviously that's quite boring. So I can create a third keyframe. If I want the jump to be nice and high, I can sort of do this. But I can achieve the same thing just by grabbing these handles here. It's a little bit hard to see, but there's these Bezier handles that I can pick up to change the shape of the path. And now I've still only got 2 keyframes, but I am getting an animation where the logo is doing its little jump. Just going to turn this audio off. All right, so that's all looking pretty static. I'm going to add a rotation to that. So this time I'm going to set a keyframe, manually set a keyframe for my rotation value. And I want it to do a full rotation by the time it lands in the same place. So I'm just going to navigate to this keyframe by using my little arrow here. That jumps to the next keyframe. And I'm going to change the value of rotation. I'm just going to type in 1 and hit enter. So that means I could have typed in 360, so it does a full 360 degrees. But this allows us to easily enter a value, because I want it to do a nice even rotation. So let's see what happens. There is the basic jump, which is the first thing that we've created. So if I was to animate an effect, I would still need to create my first keyframe manually, and then add my second one. The rest of them would get added automatically. And that's the basis of all things in After Effects, is that you always have to establish or choose the value that you want to animate, set your first keyframe manually, move to a different point in time, and then make the change, and the next keyframe will get added automatically. So that's all I wanted to show today in terms of a basic keyframe animation. But what I'd like to show you is that this resource is up on the Adobe Education Exchange. I've put the link in the chat, and it basically runs off a Adobe Express page from which you can download all the files, including, and this larger download does include some instructional videos that take you through every step to create both of those short animations. And hopefully you'll have fun. And what you'll notice if you are teaching the software to students is that once they understand how to create keyframes, they really just go for it and have fun, and they'll produce some amazing stuff really quickly. So hopefully you've enjoyed this short demo.
Mark, that's wonderful. And it's so good to have someone as knowledgeable as you to break down the complications of Adobe After Effects, because it is a particularly scary application for a lot of people. But I really appreciate the way that you very simply explained just one of the many, many features that you can create, one of the many, many tools and things that you can do with After Effects. So we really appreciate your time, Mark, and thank you for contributing.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Raithke.
Adobe education leaders like Mark are part of the highest level of Adobe's education community program, a very exclusive program with only about 65 teachers qualifying in the Australasian region.
They regularly share this passion with their network of educators wider than their own school or faculty, and help support the work of the Adobe and education teams around the globe.
If you're interested in becoming an AEL, an Adobe Education Leader, the first step is to do the Adobe Creative Educator Program and get your ACE Level 1 and 2 badges via adobe.ly/ACE.
If you'd like to be guided through Level 1, Tim and I are running the next Be a Creative Educator course on Thursday, the 5th of May, 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Look up adobe.ly/creative educator for your information, and share this site with your colleagues and wider education networks.
Of course, you don't have to wait until then. If you look up adobe.ly/ACE, you can actually do the Adobe Creative Educator course, or the Creativity for All course, on the Adobe Education Exchange at any time on demand.
The Creativity for All course is one of the many great on-demand courses on the Adobe Education Exchange. Other popular courses at the moment include Adobe Analytics for teaching and learning, digital painting and drawing in the classroom, Teach Creativity with Adobe and Khan Academy, preparing students with essential creative skills, and the new Adobe Creative Cloud Express in the classroom course.
So look up edx.adobe.com to access these amazing courses.
You're watching Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Raithke.
Erin, we have a special announcement for Victorian teachers.
We do. Adobe and Microsoft are running a series of events in Victorian schools this year called Digital Skills Days.
During the day, the host schools will be enjoying a series of workshop events with students.
After school, teachers from the host school, as well as any educator in Victoria who lives within the region of the host school, is welcome to take part in a special professional learning event with Microsoft and Adobe. Look up adobe.ly/digiskills-vic-22 to find out host school locations and dates.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Raithke.
If you're on Facebook and you're not already a member of the Australasian Adobe Education Community Facebook group, please join via facebook.com/groups/AUSAEL.
Join us and keep regularly involved with Adobe and education and the wider community.
You're watching Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Raithke.
Well, let's bring Mark and Jerry back up on the screen for the farewell. We will be having a break over the Easter, and our next opportunity to join the live audience for our Inject Creativity Live recordings will be on Wednesday, the 4th of May. May the 4th. May the 4th. It'll be at 5 p.m. It's actually a different time, Erin. We're going to be recording at 5 p.m. So if you want to join us live, it's not the usual 6:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. It's actually going to be an hour and a half earlier. for a change.
Which I'm used to because of daylight savings time, but thank goodness that's now over. I don't have to do conversions in my head. Now, for the next episode on May the 4th, we've got Adobe Education leader Lauren Sayer from Victoria, and she'll be our AEL presenter for episode 62 of Inject Creativity Live.
And Stephen Colbert, also from Victoria, will be our guest for episode 63.
For those watching live, get ready to move to adobe.ly/edu-meet-APAC for our brief fireside chat.
Special thank you to Jerry and Erin for helping to put this show together.
And a very special thank you to you, Mark, for your contribution to this episode. Any final words of parting wisdom you'd like to share?
Look, just jump into the program and have fun. You can't break it. You can only learn along the way. So just do it.
That is very true. Great words of wisdom. Give it a crack. Thank you so much, Mark.
My pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Here's Rob, the robot, to sign things off. See you later.
Thank you for watching this episode of Inject Creativity Live. For those who are watching live, join us now via adobe.ly/edu-meet-APAC for an informal, non-recorded fireside chat to meet and interact with our presenters and other audience members. During this informal chat, you will be able to complete the feedback form and apply for a professional development certificate. If you are not watching this live, join us live next time. Use this QR code or link to find out about dates and topics. And use this QR code and link to find out about other Adobe in Education professional learning opportunities. On behalf of the Adobe in Education team, keep being creative.